I want a smartwatch that has a cool color screen on the outside, Gorilla Glass on the front, a heart rate sensor, blood oxygen sensor, sleep tracking, fitness tracking. I want to be able to make phone calls from it. I want to see my text messages. I want the battery to last almost 2 weeks on a single charge. And I want it to be cheaper than the Apple Watch. What are you, high? Big promises and a small price tag from the new Motorola Moto Watch, and I'm taking this thing for a test. Check it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. $150 for the Moto Watch. Crazy price tag when you consider all those features that I just listed. So can't wait to test this thing out. Here's what I'm gonna do for you. I'm gonna show you what comes inside the box, and then I'll show you the process of connecting my phone to the Moto Watch, getting it all set up, and we'll walk through some of the basic features on the Moto Watch, give you a first look. You gotta stick around to the end though, because I'm gonna break down my first impressions and the one feature that I found that is missing that could be a deal breaker for some people. So I'll break all that down, but first, let's get this over to the table and get this thing unboxed. Here it is, guys, the Moto Watch in the box. You've got that classic Moto branding on the top of the box here. You can see the watch in the middle, and they call this the Moto Watch. There's the image of the watch. It's a pretty good looking smartwatch. Powered by Polar. If you're not familiar, Polar's like a high-end fitness brand. They make $1,000 fitness tracking watches. Pretty smart for Motorola to team up with them. They've been around, as you can see, since 1977, so they're apparently handling the fitness tracking part. Classic by design, sporty by nature. That's the branding they've got going on here. You've got your barcodes on the bottom, and you've got a couple of things on the back here. It talks about activity monitoring, the aluminum case, the IP68 protection, and the fact that it fits standard 22mm watch bands, which I think is cool. Okay, let's get everything out of the box, and there really is not a ton in here. You've got 3 specific items that we'll take a look at. You've got your standard README instruction manual, probably nothing we're gonna spend too much time worrying about here. And then this appears to be the charging dock for the watch. It's got kind of a rubberized bottom here. It's not sticky by any means, but it is rubberized, so it'll at least sort of stick or adhere to the desktop. And then on the top, you've got the pogo plugs for the watch to charge. So it's not inductive charging, it's just a 2-pin pogo plug charging with a USB-C port. Now here's the watch itself. You can see it's got a QR code on the front to install the app on your phone. A little bit of protective plastic around the watch. Let's get this peeled off so we can check out that watch face. Look at that. It's definitely about simplicity here. It's got the basic band. It's got a very basic watch face, but look at the notches around the edge. Kind of a nice touch. Give it that real classic watch feel. The back here, you've got, of course, your pogo plugs there for charging, as I talked about the charger before, and then your sensors in the middle. And notice the watch band. Again, it is a standard size watch band, 22mm, but those are the pins to pull the watch band off. Nice to see how easy that is to swap out the bands. On the right side of the watch, we've got 2 buttons. You've got the standard button, then this is the crown with that orange accent, which looks super slick. And look at the Motorola logo on the crown. That is so cool looking, especially if you're kind of a retro inspired person who likes the retro look. Motorola is such an iconic brand, especially that iconic Motorola M logo. I love that. Nice job, guys. The other side of the watch face is smooth, no more buttons, literally just 2 buttons on this watch. Let me throw it on my wrist to see what it looks like. So in terms of sizing, I think this fits pretty well. I'm a kind of a standard size, 6 foot tall guy, and I think this watch looks great on my wrist. It might be large for a woman. You might want something a little bit smaller than this, but for a guy, it's kind of mid-sized watch. It's not one of those jumbo giant watches, but it's definitely not a small watch either. All right, let's go through the process of installing the watch. I've got the Moto Watch app set up on my phone, and first thing it's going to ask me to authorize some terms and agreements and what have you. So I'll approve those. Now it wants permissions, Bluetooth, notifications, and location. I will approve those. The next screen wants us to add the watch, so we'll have to power the watch up. It's searching for it right now, but I've got to get this thing powered on. I'm assuming you just hold down one of these buttons, should get this going. There you go. You got the Motorola logo. Hello Moto. Looks like the watch powered up pretty quickly, and hopefully the app should find it. Boom. There you go. Look at that, guys. That was super, super quick and super easy. Not only is the watch powered up within seconds, but the phone has already detected the watch, and I can select it on the phone and get this thing set up. Okay, so it's Bluetooth paired. It says your Moto Watch is paired, and it talks about how you can do more with the Moto account. So I'll set up a Moto account. I'll log in and get that going as well. Now, first of all, a couple things. Wrist preference. I'm a lefty and the crown is on the right, so you just want to make sure you select these correctly so that it knows where you're wearing it and which way you're wearing it. It's going to ask for your height and your weight. This is for that biometric data, that health fitness tracking data, and I will pop in my specs. Now, it's asking about daily activity goals. You've got level 1, 2, and 3. You can dig deep into this if you want. I'm going to pick level 2 and move on. And then it's talking about sleep tracking. You've got essential and advanced. Now, advanced sleep tracking likely keeps track of your heart rate and a lot more information while you're sleeping, but it's warning you here that it's going to use more battery power. I'm okay with that. Health tracking, sleep tracking specifically is really important to me. It's going through some of the features here on the watch before it jumps into the app itself. Okay, now that we're in the app, let me grab the watch. You can see the app is loaded, and this is going to kind of walk you through a getting started tour. If you have used a Google smartwatch before, you're going to notice a lot of this is very familiar. The gestures are exactly what we're used to. Swipe down for the settings icons. You swipe up for your notifications. I'm not going to sit here and belabor this because this is all pretty standard stuff, but again, it'll walk you through this so you know what to expect. I will say, once you get used to it, it's all pretty much muscle memory, just like it would be with an Apple Watch once you get used to their gestures and the way things work on those watches. I do want to take a look at some of the watch faces. If you hold your finger down on the watch face, it takes you into the interface to select which watch face you want to use. So these watch faces are already installed on the watch. You just tap it and it'll activate that watch face. I can hold it down again and switch back to a different watch face as well. I want to jump back into the app on the phone, and I'll dig deeper into those watch faces on the phone in a second. But first, you've got the option to change your tiles, and these are a right swipe on the watch, and you can add a weather tile, you can add an alarm tile, and then you can customize how those tiles are arranged. Some of this you can do on the watch. I just think it's easier to do it on the phone in the app. Speaking of apps, there are a bunch of apps on the watch, and you can mess around with those in the app. You can, again, rearrange these, take ones out that you don't use, and play around with which apps are available on the watch. Back to watch faces, you'll notice I got a lot more options here, and these are just a small selection of watch faces that are already installed on my phone, which I can then push over to the watch. And watch this. I'll tap one that I want to install, and it should put it up right on my phone if I just activate it. Watch this. Set as active right here, and boom, it's now my watch face. So it's a pretty quick process. Again, these are already installed on my phone, but if I go into the other tab here, I can see a whole bunch of more watch faces that aren't installed on my phone yet. If I like one, I can then add that to my phone, which will also add it to the watch. So they've got a whole library of watch faces here. They're all designed for the round watch face, which of course is a lot different than other squared off watches that you've seen before, but there's a ton of options here. You should be able to find something that you like, and the process of installing it is so easy. You also have a couple of other options. You can change the quick settings icons when you do that swipe down from the top. That's basically setting up how this looks, which options are easy to access for you. You have another option here for all the watch settings. I'm not going to go through each individual setting here because a lot of this is standard stuff. The settings you would expect for a watch. Use the display settings though to change whether or not the watch is always on or not. That's one of the most important settings to make sure that you've got set up right. And perhaps the most important section is the health section here on the watch. This is going to track your sleep, track your workouts, track your fitness. And I think for a lot of people, this is a big reason for wearing a smartwatch. And with the Polar features or the Polar engine built in here, it should be pretty good fitness tracking. I'll have to play around with this and see how it works. And I'm also curious to see if this health data will sync up with Google Health, Fitbit, or any other apps. I do want to point out this does not work with the iPhone, unfortunately. It's only going to work with Android phones. I will say though, overall, especially when you consider that price tag, I'm really impressed. It's a nice looking watch. It feels like great hardware. The fitness tracking, the sleep tracking features look really cool. Haven't had a chance to really dive deep into those yet, but I'm going to be doing that over the coming weeks. There is one feature that I cannot figure out yet, and it feels like it's missing. That's text messaging. I can receive notifications when I get a text message, but I have no way of replying to that text message. That is an issue, and that could be a deal breaker for most people. Sure, you can make phone calls on here, you can receive phone calls on here, but if you can't reply to text messages, even with a simple pre-canned text message, that's gonna be a problem, because that's half the reason I like wearing a smartwatch. So I can reply to a text message without ever pulling my phone out of my pocket. So hopefully that's something they fixed with a software update, and perhaps that's something you can do if you have a Motorola phone. Personally, I'm testing this out with a Google Pixel phone. It's kind of a bummer because that is one feature that I think could make or break this smartwatch. Overall, it's an amazing piece of hardware, and 13 days on a single charge is absolutely mind-blowing when you compare that to Apple Watches and Pixel Watches and Samsung Watches that often get maybe 2 days on a charge if they're lucky. Here's what I want from you guys. Throw a comment below. Let me know what you want to know about this watch. Let me know what questions you have about the hardware, the software. Let me know what I should include in a longer form review, a deeper dive that I'll post here on the channel in the coming weeks. And make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me grow here on YouTube, and it lets me know what kind of things you guys like to see here on the channel. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.